Create.
So Ramya, are you clear now how to create the object?
Yes.
Please go through the recording. We have done this yesterday. Okay. So if you go through it, you will again know how to create the object. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yesterday we created an object called candidates. Okay. And we learned the generic data types. So today we'll proceed with the next topics. I'm going to go to candidate. Okay. So in the candidate object, let's learn the next set of topics for today. I'll just open my syllabus tab. Okay, so to create, what are the different data types in Salesforce? There are 3 types of data types, right? One is read-only, one is relationship, and generic. So yesterday we covered generic data types, okay? And I want each one of you to go back and create these field sets. Otherwise, you will not understand this, okay? So today we'll try to cover the other remaining data types. All right. So the first type of it is auto number, and then we have formula. Okay. So for auto number, yesterday we thought of doing application number, right? So let's try to create an auto number field today. So I'm going to select the data type as auto number. And here I'll select application number as the name of the field. And display format, how do you want the display to be? I will give it as something like this. Application number, right? And give 00, and starting number should be 1. For existing records also, I want the auto number to be generated. So I'll do next. I want this field to be visible to everybody. So I'm going to select visible to all and next. And then I will save. So I created a field called application number. So I'm going to follow the same steps in order to see the application number. What I'm going to do, I'll go to the app launcher and make sure I'm in my app first. And in my app, I will look for candidates. I'm going to click new. So now when I click new, I will see a new field here called candidate name. And I think I have created country yesterday. So this field and application number. So you see application number is not an input field. Why? Why can't I put anything here?
Ma'am, what we have to write in display format in data type?
Sorry?
In display format, what should we write? You must enter
You
a
can
value.
put any display format you want, right? I put the display format to be like this. You can put whatever you want. It depends on the requirement, right? So I put a hyphen curly braces 00. You can also put hold on. Yeah. So this is my display format, like a hyphen 00. You can put app hyphen whatever you want. So it is not something, it depends. You can put whatever you want the display format to be. Okay.
Okay, and starting number should be any numeric number, right?
Yeah, I prefer 1 because when the application is created, it starts with 01. Then the next application 02, then 03, 04, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now why is this field not editable? That's my question.
Apoorva, sorry to interrupt.
System
She actually
generated.
Sorry. Yes, go ahead. What is the question? Somebody
The
had a
auto generated, right?
question.
Apoorva, I'm saying it's a auto-generated, right?
You're breaking up.
It's auto
I'm
number
saying the
field.
application number is auto system generated, right?
So the reason why it is not editable is because it is a read-only field. Remember when we were creating this field and I explained to you guys that there are three types of data types: read-only, relationship, and third one is generic, right? So what are we creating? We are creating read-only data type, which is auto number, right? So auto number is a read-only field. So you cannot enter the value here. Okay. So I'm going to create a candidate. I will select the country and I will hit save. What's going to happen now? The system is going to generate a number, like somebody said, it's an auto-generated number or system generated number. No, the system is going to generate the number based on the display format and starting number that we have provided, right? Our starting number is 1. The display format is A-00. That's why the application that got created is A-02. What happened to 01, right? Jon Snow will get 01 because that was my first candidate. Okay, understanding this? What is application? I mean, what is auto number data type?
At that time, creating a new candidate, we can't see the application number.
Sorry?
At the time of creating a new candidate profile, just like you create Monica, right? There we can't see the application number. After creating creation, we saw the number.
Correct, exactly. In the edit mode, you cannot see. This is the edit mode. Okay. So once you create the candidate, then only you can see the application number data. Okay. And you see over here, I cannot edit this field. There is no pencil icon. Even if I click edit, I cannot edit this. Making sense? Okay. The next one is, let's try to understand what is formula field. Okay. So let's create two fields in order to understand what is formula field and how does that become read only. So I'm going to create two fields like currency. And I'm going to give the field as fixed salary. Okay. And yeah, you guys already know this. If you want, you can enter description, help text and all that and do next. So basically I'm creating a field, okay, called currency, and I'm giving the currency, the data type as currency and the field name as fixed salary. And I'm going to do save and new because I want to create another field called variable salary. And this is the field I told you guys to create yesterday also in my list. Okay. Variable salary. Right. Then do next. Giving this visible to all. Next. And save. So I created two fields, okay, fixed salary and variable salary. Now I want to create a formula field, correct? And say that show me the total salary, right? So I can go with a formula field, and formula field is read only field. I cannot edit this again, right? So I select this. And here I will give total salary. So what is the return type of total salary? It is currency because both the fields A and the field A and field B are currencies. That is fixed salary and variable salary are currency. So I want the return also to be a salary. Okay. So I'll do next. Now I need to write the formula. right? So what is the formula over here? What formula do I need to write to get total
A
salary?
plus B.
So that is nothing but my fixed
Fixed
salary
salary plus variable salary.
plus variable salary. Now, this is the most simple formula that you can write in Salesforce. Okay. But as you guys advance as admins, you will have to write complex formulas, right? Like it's not like always A plus B. You will also have some requirements in the system where you need to write some complex formulas, like what? Like for instance, let's say we have we have let me
हम
tell
बजा
you.
रहे वैसे बजा
Let's say there is a field on the candidate called hired, and this is a pick list. Okay. In the pick list, we have yes or no, right? Then my requirement would be that whenever the candidate is hired, okay, hired is equal to yes,
आपने मना
right?
कर दिया तो वही
Then I want another field called flag to be created. So hired is a field, flag is a field. Hired is a field, flag is a field. Okay. So whenever hired is equal to yes, then I want the flag field to show green flag. Okay. When hired is equal to no, then I want the flag to show red flag. So this type of formula is like I mean, I wouldn't say it's complex, but it is not as easy as A plus B formula, right? So these type of things can happen in Salesforce where you need to think a little logically and come up with the formulas. Now, I can go with this topic endlessly, right? This formula topic is endless. There can be so many scenarios and requirements. Okay. So throughout this course, we'll try to build some easy, medium, complex formulas. But for now, please understand that formula field is a read-only field. It helps perform various functions, math functions like these, right? And you can also get into advanced formulas. That's a bit more complex than the easy, simple formulas, right? You can use all these functions like if, and if you want to generate a hyperlink and you want to check if the pick list. So in this example that I just gave, right, it was about the pick list. Like if hired is equal to yes, then how do you say this hired is equal to yes? Hired is a pick list, right? So then you have to use is pick val, right? So you may have to come across such situations where you have to go with some advanced formulas, but don't worry about it for today's class. Just focus on, when can you best use the formula. Like you should be in a position after this session that if I tell you total salary, if I tell you fixed salary, variable salary, and total salary, these are the three fields. You guys should be in a position to tell me that fixed salary is currency, variable salary is currency, and total can be a formula field, right? That decision you need to make. What is the data type, right? All right, so that is a simple formula. Then once you write the formula, you need to check the syntax. Okay, check for the syntax. Once it's a green signal, there are no errors, then you can simply go for the next step. Okay, and then make this visible to all and do next and save. So done. I created 3 more new fields. Okay, so let's test this. I'm going to go back to my candidate. I'm just doing a refresh. So here the fields are visible now. Okay, so you see here there's a fixed salary, there's a variable salary, and there's a total salary. Okay, now fixed salary is something I can edit, but you see total salary is read only. Why is it read only? Because It's a formula field, and formula fields are read-only fields. So I'm just going to enter the fixed salary. So what should be the answer? 6 lakhs, right? So let's see if the calculation is correct because of the formula. Yeah, so it is 6 lakhs. Now it is saving this, it's saving the time of the agent, right? Like the agent need not sit and calculate, okay, what is fixed salary, what is basic, I mean, this variable salary, and then do the math. The system is calculating it automatically. So that is what is the total salary. Okay. Clear on this? Are we good? Okay, I assume you all understood it. So once you create the fields, okay, we have now covered the generic data types. We have covered the read-only data types. Okay. Now the next thing that we want to cover is object relationship. So before we go to object relationship, we will learn about another simple topic, field dependencies. Okay. So yesterday I told you guys to create, pick list fields. If you guys would have created, we could have saved a lot of time, but now I have to sit and create 3 pick list fields. So bear with me. Okay. So we'll create pick list fields here on state and country. For instance, I'm going to call this as, I think we created already country pick list. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create a state pick list. I'm going to select pick list here, do next, and I'll select a state. Okay. So name of the field is state, and use global pick list value. So you will see two things here. One is global pick list and one is enter the values separately. Now, yesterday we used this, right? We entered the values separately. But the first step, the first one, if you use, okay, let me show you how to create the first step, the first radio button one. So the difference is nothing but if you create a global pick list, that pick list can be used in any objects. So let's see how. In order to create a global pick list, you need to go to setup, then go to quick find, and in the quick find, type in for pick list. So here you have pick list value sets. Click on that. I repeat, go to setup, go to quick find and type pick list value sets. And here you can create a new pick list for the organization globally, right? And this time I will create a state pick list and I'll put some states. Before I put the states ahead, I want to tell you guys that I have created country with India, UK and US. So I will try to choose the states of these country. Okay. And what was the other one? US, right? Okay, and then we had UK. So I created some states of those countries and I can say display in alphabetical order and do save. So what I did, I created a state pick list. Okay, I created a state pick list, but not under the candidate object. Okay, I created globally for the entire organization. Now, if I go back to the candidate object and select fields and relationship, okay, under the candidate and hit new, here I can create a pick list and say next. This time I'll create state. And here if I say global pick list values, here I have state. Okay, so if So understanding this, I can use this global pick list state for any other object which has states to be created. Getting the difference between the two radio buttons?
Yes.
Very good. So use the global pick list. I now chose the state. Okay. And then I do next. And then make it visible to all next. So creating fields, right, is the most simple and the easiest step in Salesforce. Okay. I mean, anything that you see maximum will be 4 or 5 steps. That's it, right? The only thing is you guys need to make a decision of what is the data type. Okay. That is the part of admin that you need to be clear on. Okay. Now, the concept of field dependencies. Okay. So we have 2 fields that we have created, right? Country and state. Now, if I go back to the record and refresh, okay, I would expect to see state and country as a field. Okay, let's just test that first. All right, so we have country as India. Okay, I select India and I select states. Now you see here what's happening. If I'm selecting India as a country, then I'm seeing so many states other than Indian states also, like London, Minnesota, Wales, and all of that, right? I don't want to see other states. I only want to see Indian states when I select India. I want to see only UK states when I select UK. Can I achieve that in Salesforce without coding? Yes, I can achieve that. How do I achieve that, right? With the help of a concept called field dependencies. So that is what we are going to learn now. How to create a field dependency. What is a field dependency? Okay. So in order to create a field dependency, I need to go to the object manager, choose the specific object, and then I need to go to fields and relationship. Once I do that, on the top right corner, okay, I will see field dependencies button. You all see this? Field dependencies. So I'm going to click on this. So in a field dependency, there should be always a controlling button. There is always a controlling field and dependent field. So in this example of country and state, which do you think is a controlling field and which is a dependent field? Can you tell me?
State is a dependent.
Okay, state is dependent. Very good. And country is controlling.
Controlling. Yeah.
Right, because I want to select India, and if I select India, I want to see all the Indian states. So to your point, controlling the field is country and dependent is state. This is how you need to analyze a requirement. Okay, so if the requirement is coming from the business saying that we want to select this and based on this we want to select that, then you guys should immediately think in your minds that, oh yeah, we can achieve this using field dependencies. Now, there are few limitations with the field dependencies. Okay, so let's see that. So here, how many fields did I create? Do you recollect the fields that I have created? You see, I have created fixed salary, variable salary, total salary, name of the candidate. But in the controlling field, I'm only able to see 2 fields. Correct? I can't see other fields. Why is that? Because in Salesforce, there is a limitation based on the data types. Not all fields can be controlling. Not all fields can be dependent. Okay. So the decision is made based on the data types. Okay. So what are the data types that are controlling and what are the data types that are dependent? And thirdly, what are the data types that are both controlling and dependent? You guys have to learn. Okay, so I will first show you this and then we will learn what are the data types that are controlling, dependent, and both. Okay. So first, controlling field is country. So I'm going to select that. Dependent field is state. So I'm going to select that and say continue. Now here is where you need to pay a lot of attention because this is a manual admin activity. When I choose the state India, then sorry, when I choose the country India, what all states do I want to see? I should select over here. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. I'm holding control key on my laptop. Okay, I'm holding the control key and I'm selecting all the Indian states, and after I select the Indian states, there is a button here called include values, and I am clicking on include values. So once you include the values, it's going to become yellow. Now you can release your control button. I can do the same for the UK, the states of UK. I'm going to select, and then I will say include, right? The same thing I'm going to repeat for US, Arizona, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, the states, and I'm going to say include. Now done, right? I've included all the values. The next step is save. So I have done creating my field dependencies. The next step is to test. So I'm going to go back to my record and refresh again. How do I test this? I need to select country. And now you see, I can only see the states over here, Indian states. If I select none, okay, I say none, then you see state is grayed out, right? It is disabled. If I select UK, then I see states of UK. Likewise, USA, then states of USA. Clear on this? Field dependencies.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, there is some limitation that I was referring to. So let's quickly look at that. Okay. When I go to field dependencies, the first question is how many field dependencies can I create at one time? Only one, right? I can only create the dependency between country and state. But let's say I want to create the dependency between state and city next, right? Can I do that using the same field dependency? No, I need to go and create a new one. When I create new one, which will be controlling and which will be dependent?
State controlling.
State will be
and city
controlling.
dependent.
State and
Correct.
city.
State will be controlling and city will be dependent, right? So this way I can achieve the entire requirement of state, city, and country dependencies. Okay. Now I will create another field here. Okay. And this field will be a multi-pick list. This is also something I told you guys to create yesterday called skills, right? So let me create a multi-pick list called skills. And I'm going to give some skills here. Okay. I'm just going to give this much. How many lines do you want to be visible? Like, without scrolling, I've told 6. I'll show you that and I'll do next. I just entered all the skills that I feel is needed, but this will be anyway given to you by your business. Okay. The same steps I'm repeating, doing next. Save. So I'll go back to the record, I'll refresh and see if the multi-pick list is created. So multi-pick list is created. Okay. Yeah. So these are the skills, and the 6 lines that I said I wanted to be visible, it's visible here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 6 lines are visible. I can select. Now going back to field dependencies, why did I create multi-pick list? Okay. If I go to field dependencies and I click on new, I am now selecting controlling field. Can I see skills? I cannot. Independent field, can I see skills? I can, right? So what is the thing that you learned from this? Multi-pick list can only be dependent. Getting my point? I cannot make multi-pick list a controlling field. I can make multi-pick list only a dependent field. Understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, good. Likewise, I'm going to show you another example. I'll create a new field called, what was the checkbox field that we told to create yesterday? Yesterday, I told you guys to create one checkbox field, right, from the list. What was that? For candidate? Okay, I have to decide to create a new field. Are you guys with me? Are you following me? Are you all paying attention?
Yes, ma'am.
Gender. Gender is not a checkbox.
Marital status.
No, marital status was also not a checkbox.
We can create a relocation.
Location is also not a checkbox. New hire I can consider. Is he? No, not fresher, right? Fresher, I think. Yeah. This is what I told you guys to create. So you can put a help text here saying no work experience. Please check box if you have, or if the candidate, has no work experience, right? So fresher is a checkbox that I'm creating. Do next, save. So I created fresher field and now I'll click new. Okay, I need to refresh. So every time we do something, we have to refresh. Okay. So here there is a fresher field that got created, and see, please checkbox if the candidate has no work experience. Okay. Now if I go back to the field dependencies, what happened here? What is happening here?
Yes.
Fresher has appeared, right? So what is the meaning of that?
Controlling.
The meaning of that is checkbox is controlling, right? Checkbox data type is a controlling field. Is checkbox a dependent? Can you create checkbox fields as dependent fields? You cannot,
Yes.
right? So what is it that we can summarize? We can summarize that pick lists are both controlling and dependent. Agree with me? Pick list fields are both controlling and dependent. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Checkbox is only dependent. Do you agree?
Checkbox controlling.
Very good. I was testing you guys. So checkbox is only controlling, right? It cannot be dependent. Okay. Multi-pick list, what is it?
Dependent.
Multiple lists
Already
can be
written
dependent.
over the header.
Yeah, so multi-pick list is only dependent. It cannot be controlling. So this is what is your field dependencies. Okay, you need to know these many topics whenever I say the keyword field dependencies, these are the things you have to know, right? What are the data types that are controlling? What are the data types that are not controlling but only dependent? What are the data types that are both controlling and dependent? And how to create a field dependency? Are you guys clear with this topic? Yeah. Okay. So I assume you guys are clear with this topic. I just clicked on something. Okay, so we learned how to create objects. We learned how to create generic data type, read-only data types. We learned how to create the fields, right? We learned how to create object, tabs, application, and now we covered field dependencies. So the next topic is your object relationship. I will not do that because I require almost half an hour to explain what are the different types of relationship in Salesforce. Okay, but I'll try to cover another simple topic, okay, in 5 minutes, and then you guys can ask me your questions. So I just want to show you that here, how do you see your own user details, right? Let's look at the Salesforce interface. So if you go on the top right corner, there is an avatar. Okay, you can click on it and you can go to settings. Okay, let's try that. So once you go to settings, you will see on the left side, there is something called advanced user details. So click on that. Okay. So in advanced user details, you will see your information, your name. Okay. And you will see that you're system administrator and you're an active user. Okay. Click edit. And one thing you will observe here is this one, right? Time zone, local, and language. Now, if I go back to my candidate data and go to Jon Snow, you will see here this is created by Apoorva. And at which date it was created? It was created yesterday, right? 6/7/2023 and at 9:13 p.m. Now, how is it telling you that it is yesterday at 9:13 p.m.? It is because this Apoorva, the user, right, has the time zone as Indian Standard Time. If I change this to something else like US or Malaysian or whatever, it here all the time zones are there. If I select that time zone, then you will see, then Apoorva will see, right? Any record Apoorva opens, she will see that the created date time is based on that particular time zone. Understanding what I'm saying? And language is English. Now, if I change this to some other language, okay, then everything is going to change for me on the screen. It's going to become a different language. So let me take this for instance and save it. I chose Deutsch. Okay. I updated my user detail as Deutsch, which is German, I guess. So I saved it. And you'll see things would have changed for me. Okay, let's see that. You see here, it's the first of all, Google is asking me this question, German and this. And you'll see things would have got changed for me in all Deutsch. See here, search has become switch and whatever, leads, contact A, account, product A, all these things. Okay, it's just basically changed the language. So I was just saying that only. Okay. That is the language preference details that you can change. I'm going to change it back to English before I mess up anything. Are you all clear with this small topic that I tried to cover in the last 5 minutes? You guys can try this too in your orgs.
Yes.
All right. So before we wrap up this session, any questions? Any doubts on the topics we've covered so far? These are the topics we've covered. So I'm going to just pause here and see if you guys have any questions. Forget about the object relation. Other than object relation, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 topics we've covered.
Yes, Apoorva.
Okay, very good. So tomorrow is a Saturday. Okay. And I want to check with you all. Are you guys available on, 8:30 only you guys want to have the class, or can we meet a little early?
Early.
Okay, it looks like everybody is saying early. So can we meet at what time do you all prefer? Early means I'll have to check my schedule too.
Like 4:30.
Okay.
Like that.